Citizen Television.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am Cosmic Kev, your host, and this week is for September 25th through October 3rd, 2015. And what do we got going on? Okay, so this is it, folks. The lunar eclipse, the one you've all been waiting for, the blood moon. So in Western astrology, we say it's an Aries moon at 4 degrees, 40 minutes Aries. Happens at 7:50 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So that means here on the West Coast and all over the United States, I guess it'll be dark. So we get to see it, and it'll look really big. But it is an eclipse, and eclipses do have higher tides and often stronger gravitational pull on the Earth, so we can sometimes expect earthquakes and natural disasters, floods even, because in Vedic astrology this full moon's associated with Purva Bhadrapada. And Purva Bhadrapada is Jupiter ruled, and it also deals with the deep, and it's also the funeral cot. And so there's kind of this death and destruction and washing away of things that we associate, but there's also a spiritual truth and a blessing that comes out of it because of that particular Jupiter rulership. So we're going to look at the other things. We've got a Sun in Libra now, and Libra's main focus is balance and harmonizing, and it's where we begin to deal with other people as being just as important as ourselves, if not more so. Whereas the first signs from Aries through Virgo are about self-development. From Libra on, it's our development with other people and all our relationships. And there's a search for balance. There's a search for partnership, but there's also a search for some alone time. There's a search for, there's a tendency to want to eat sweet things that affect the kidneys more, because Libra rules the kidneys. And so that's where, people would hold their energy on over there. So Mercury, Mercury's retrograde. Mercury is slowing down in the constellation of Libra. So in Vedic astrology, we'd say it was in Virgo, and actually they say it's associated with a lot of technological fumbles and stuff, and I have already experienced some of these, so I completely concur with what the Vedas say in that case. But, with that said, and now Saturn is in Sagittarius, without any further ado, we're going to go sign by sign, give you your horoscope for this coming week. Alright, so hello Aries, welcome to your horoscope. Well, Uranus presents an element of excitement, an element of unpredictability. You being a Mars-ruled sign, there's already a certain randomness that we associate with you. So all this randomness needs to be dealt with, it needs to be addressed, it needs to be brought to a place where things work out. you know, where you have your own will and you're able to put it, but also where you're able to meet the needs of others, because, you know, Libra's your opposite sign. So this is your relationship house. This is your marriage. And we still have the North Node there, although that's going to be changing going into Virgo in just a couple of weeks. So what finishing touches on this relationship would you put to make it go? Saturn is in your 9th house now, so long distance trips, higher education, things that might be really difficult. You somehow feel like there's a need, you have to do it to take your life further. So you're being a little bit more goal oriented, perhaps. And you know, there's always that transformation element at work. You know, since the full moon is in your sign, if you're an Aries born in March especially, you're going to get hit by this full moon. I mean, you're going to feel it big. That's enough said there. Okay, greetings Taurus, welcome to your horoscope. So, starting out the weekend with a Pisces moon. So that puts the moon in your 11th house. It's a good social house. It's good house for a party. You know, so let's say most of this weekend's all about the party. Come Sunday, you know, it's better to lay low. You know, Sunday afternoon, moon goes into Aries, and you know, that night, early evening, we have the eclipse. And I would say, since it's in your 12th house, just keep everything chill. It's a good time to isolate yourself. Don't, you know, no, don't, when your friends say, hey, come on out and party with me on the full moon, like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay home, because it's better. It really is. So Venus is going direct. That's a good thing. And it is direct. Still in Leo. It'll go in Virgo the end of next week, and we'll talk about that then, where it took off. But we're still in what I call the Venus resolve period. Well, hello Gemini, and welcome to your horoscope. So Mercury retrograde, naturally it's a big deal for you. So Mercury's slowing down in your 5th house. That's a house of children. And that's kind of an educational house too, especially for teachers in particular. It could symbolize your relationship to your father. There's a lot of ways we can go here in the 5th house. It's not bad for travel. It may not be as lucky as a 9th, but it's pretty close. It's a good time. And I think the best thing about it is it's where we get to matters of the heart. It's where we express things that we feel. And so there's a lot to go over about your own creative process, about your own children, about the way you want to express matters of the heart. And so that gets amplified during this time of year. North Node's still there, so you're hungry to show the world that, yeah, I can do something creative, I can do something good. I can make my mark, and, you know, you've probably already done this in some way already. But it's important to know that there might be a restlessness, a wanting to move, with Mars in transiting your 4th house right now in Virgo, and Venus is going to be there soon too. So, you know, there's an element of wanting to be with your tribe, wanting to be in your comfort zones. Well, hello Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope. So here in Libra time, it's 4th house. So the emphasis is family, history, tribe, things that are oh so Cancer. And what do you know about your grandparents? What do you know about your great-grandparents? I mean, what do you even know about your own parents? You know, I think sometimes when it's that close, it's harder to know. And you want to have a firm foundation. I think of this as like a really foundational place where you're building a foundation to make things happen. So Venus in the 2nd house, people want to buy luxuries a lot of times. But it's soon to be in the 3rd. Mars transiting the 3rd house. I always say check your bike, your cars, make sure everything's running properly, when Mars is transiting the third house, there could be mechanical difficulties in your normal means of transport. There's that random aspect of Mars that's going, hey, I might go this way, you go that way. This tire might go off when it should be staying on. That's something you do not want to discover while traveling 70 miles an hour. No, that would not be pleasant. Constant transformation in your relationships with Pluto. And, there's a little T-square between Pluto and Libra, and then there's another one with Uranus. And so there's this sort of energy. I mean, it's not a direct square, but the energy is tense between these cardinal signs. Like, we're breaking through with new beginnings. What we thought couldn't be done is being done. All right. So, greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. So here's a nice thing. You get Venus in your first house for another week. Okay? Another week to feel beautiful, to feel creative, to show your own flamboyant touch on things. So, that perhaps is good. Now, we've got Jupiter and Mars in Virgo. I mean, this would be definitely the time you get a new crossbow or a new gun or a new fishing pole or something. For, hey, it's that time of year, You're going to go catch something, at least out here in, some people call it the state of Jefferson. I think I prefer the state of Sasquatch myself. That's just me. I have nothing against Jefferson, but I think Sasquatch is a lot more dear to our heart, and yeah. And I think I have a better chance of meeting Sasquatch than I do of meeting Jefferson. Okay. So, you have an ability to make more money than usual. You've got the energy to create more resources. And Libra time, it's maybe not the best time for your sun, because it's considered debilitated, but it's a good time to build intimate relationships with your siblings, relationships with your neighbors, and to be social, and to work with your hands, and to tell stories, write songs, and make up poetry, and do painting and things like that. It's a good time for all things imaginative and giving yourself contrasts, looking for contrast even in the ordinary. Well, hello, Virgo, and welcome to your horoscope. Now, Virgo's key phrase is I analyze. It's got a reputation sometimes of being a critic, of being an Eeyore, of being a prude. But then there's a secret side of Virgo that you don't know about. I talk about that. The sacred prostitute, the nudist, the wild woman, the wild man. And part of the Virgin is being untouched by all the pollution and all the BS. I think for those of us born from the late 50s to the early 70s, Pluto and Virgo generation, we're like, space-age children, and we're all grown middle-aged people now. This is incredible, and we are going to witness an incredible change, and we are, in our own lifetime, from global climate change. It's way different than when we were little kids, and the ecological impacts. There's not as many free wilderness places. Mount Shasta was not even discovered by the white man until like 1852 in this area. And I mean, even in the 80s, I'd go up there and there wasn't like a lot of people, but like now, holy Maloney, you can't just get near it. So Virgo, your essence is wilderness, and preserving, protecting the wilderness. That's your thing. Your values come into play when you're in a second house transit. That's where Libra is. That's where the North Node is, that's where the Sun is, that's where Mercury is right now. And Mercury is focus, so Mercury retrograde, it might have a real effect on you. And it's affecting your values and your resources, and it can be doing it for good. it can be bringing an increase. But, you know, computers, technology, I mean, I would say don't invest in any of it until like October 9th and afterwards, after this Mercury fiasco is over, and then, you know, everything can settle, the dust will settle, and you'll make progress, and all will be joyful again. You might be feeling some kind of sense of like almost limitations as to where you can go, and but the full moon, it's going to bring about a change. You know, there might be something that you just didn't deserve happen, and sometimes it's hard to understand those things. So just be sensitive to how you're feeling. Be willing to open up to change when you need to. Well, greetings, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. And happy birthday for Libras having birthdays this week. Wishing the best to you. So here we are. We're going to get to Sunday. There it is. We've got North Node in Libra, South Node in Aries, and the South Node, it's about 1 degree, so is the North Node, but the Moon's at 4 degrees Aries, so that's close. It's a good, strong conjunction. It's a strong eclipse. And this is going to affect your relationship house, totally. And that's a big deal to you, because you're all about that. So it can really set moods high, you know. There can be tensions. There's an element of unpredictability just with Uranus's presence and the moon conjoining that the next day on Monday. You know, Monday night we got moon conjoin Uranus 6:30. So, you know, there's reverberations in that 24-hour period after the moon peaks, even during that waning period. So don't be surprised if there's more shattering things, earth changes, you know. I'm thinking maybe floods, but there could be definitely earthquakes, volcanoes. There's just been a lot of stuff happening, and just freakish weather of any type. This is your new place. This is where you're able to invoke consciousness as to what you want to do next. The weekend, I would say before the full moon, you know, do some volunteer work with others, get your house organized, that type of thing, and then maybe have a romantic time with somebody. Wouldn't that be nice? Sunday night, celebrate the eclipse that way. Hey, that could be pretty nice too. Wouldn't you agree, Scorpio? Yes, you would. You would, wouldn't you? No. Now, why should we shame you for representing the thing that we desire most? You know, sexual bliss. Scorpio. So, greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, this is what we got going on today. We've got Mars and Jupiter in your 11th house, so you're still gaining some social benefits, but, you know, Libra time really rules the 12th house. So the 12th house is a house of isolation. It's a house of karma. It's a house of dreams. It's a house of the pleasures of the bed. And so when the North Node's there, there's more of a desire for that, but it's not necessarily there's a fulfillment. When the Sun's there, you know, we're aware of what our karma is, but we also want to do things in secret. You know, there's sort of this hidden agenda, hidden energy involved with it. Saturn in your 2nd house, it's like learning how to be more sustainable, learning how to be more graceful with the limits you have with your family. Pluto in the 3rd house, I mean, there's always changes in friends and siblings and whatever you have to do. The weekend looks good. I mean, right before this full moon, you know, this Friday night, Saturday night, while moon's in Pisces, it's a really good time to make music, paint pictures, be creative. It's that 5th house transit. And then it goes into your 6th house, which could be like health issues and stuff. So, you know, take it easy. Don't overdo it, you know. Allow yourself plenty of rest and plenty of recuperation. Don't overextend yourself. Just try and keep everything paced. And, you know, there may be some financial reward and blessings associated too this week that we'll just see how it goes. I think, midweek will be better for romance too, but hey, early this weekend, nice. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So, Saturn back in the first house. I feel like a racehorse announcer here. Saturn back in the first house, restricting things for Sagittarius. And if we go over in the 11th house, that's where the transit of the Sun, Mercury, and North Node is taking place. Gaining speed on the midheaven is Mars and Jupiter, expanding your ability to work and to have more career energy, and even have your name out there, known a little more. Take advantage of this transit. If you have vacation time, this might be the last chance to just steal away a day from work before things get really busy and completely out of control. And this full moon's all about creative inspiration for you. So Sunday night, break out the paints, break out the bongo drums, go dig in your garden, type away at the book you're writing. It's all going to be good. You'll enjoy it. Trust me, I'm your astrologer. Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to your horoscope. So, Libra time, what is it? Well, it's a place where your own work ethic and energy is exalted. So, the Sun, North Node, and Mercury are transiting your 10th house. So, if things are a little messed up at work, in the workplace, this is normal. This is normal with a Mercury retrograde transiting. Oh, computer problems breaking down, In my case, it's a walk-in in the produce cooler. In everyone's case, it's something. And we've got a nice energy for travel with Mars and Jupiter together. Exploring places. This is kind of like blazing a trail that's never been blazed before. Going cross-country in a backpack trip. Or to an exotic country like Brunei or Borneo or Malta or someplace like that. I don't know. Antarctica. That's pretty exotic, So looking at that, I think that would be worth looking into. Now Saturn's in your 12th house, so karma, is like the bill collector. It's something we all have to deal with. It's never always. Sometimes it's pleasant though. Sometimes you get a rebate. And but other times you have to just pay the piper and deal with, let the chips fall where they may, and deal with what you have to deal with. So then there's that. All right. So next thing we're going to look at here is Aquarius. Well, hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So we're looking this week at a really good time to take risk. A really good time to have adventure. Now this weekend, most of the weekend's good for you making money. Whatever eclipse explosions will happen, they'll hit you at home. They'll be in your neighborhood. They won't be that far from you. That's for sure. And so you'll get the information. You'll hear about it and you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. You'll be like, wow, there is something to this eclipse. And I see a lot of transformation with Mars and Jupiter in your 8th house. You're more curious about the occult. You're more curious about magic. You're curious about past lives. And the whole thing of rewards that are unjust. And some of those rewards are good, and some of those rewards are really mean and hard to take. So they're both things you have to look at. But overall, you're hungry for more knowledge. You're hungry to be generous to other people, to bring up good fortune, come off as an enlightened soul. And you got good friends in high places that are going to help you do that with Saturn transiting your 11th house. So I guess we'll just say bring it on. Well, hello Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope. So we're beginning, the weekend here with the moon in your 1st house. So it's a creative place, and the moon is waxing at this point. It's gaining energy. going into the whole full moon. So there's a sort of momentum. There's a momentum to this weekend, and you're part of that momentum. You're sort of like spearheading it. And with your Neptune and Chiron influence, there's this element of spiritual vision, this element of compassion and healing that you want to bring forth, and you're doing it. And partnership-wise, things can be good, but you're going to hear your partner call you on your stuff with Mars transiting your 7th house. There's a lot of personal transformation you can expect with Sun in Libra. And finances may suddenly change over the eclipse. Finances, your relationship to food, a kink in your neck. I mean, all kinds of weird things associated with the 2nd house can be activated in this eclipse. So I'd say Mercury's retrograde, folks. We got a big eclipse happening this weekend. And a lot of the stuff of this energy that started, a long time ago with Venus retrograde really originally, and now Mercury retrograde, most of this isn't going to be resolved till about the 10th of October or something. So just kind of hang on tight. We're in for a pretty wild ride here. And just be good to each other whenever you can. Cosmic Kev, I'll see you next week.
Citizen Television.